Are you fully submitted to God? Now, I'm not just talking about, when you get saved and you are dealing with major areas of sin and you're experiencing victory, but are you fully submitted to God, even in those little areas of your life that you think are insignificant? Let me give you a couple of examples. A few years ago, I was wearing jewelry, and there came a time where I felt convicted to give up my favorite pair of earrings. Now, I got a lot of compliments when I wore these earrings, and that's partially why I wore them. And I know that it was a pride issue for me, and God was trying to deal with pride in my heart. Now, I don't care if you wear earrings or not, but for me, this was an area that God specifically spoke to me about. And this is an area that I had to choose to submit to Him about or not. And it was quite a struggle. And I remember I got a flash image, like a little vision of my earrings cut up and in the bin. And so I threw out a bunch of my jewelry, including these earrings. But as I threw the earrings into the bin, I realized, oh, they're not cut up like I saw in that flash image. So I had to fish them out and get my scissors and chop them in half, because I knew that if I didn't and they were intact, I would definitely go back in to the bin and grab them at some point later when I was feeling less convicted on the topic. So that's one example. Another example is around about a similar time, maybe a few months earlier. The housemates that I live with, they owned the place, and I was renting from them, renting a room. And they made it clear at the beginning of my stay with them that, you do your cleaning up, you're washing your dishes, and we'll do ours. We're not going to do each other's, chores. I was like, yep, that's fair enough. And they kept a very tidy house, very immaculately clean. So if I did my cooking, I would have to do my dishes all at the same time, put everything away, wiped everything, and it was just always perfectly clean. Now, on a rare occasion, I think the husband would come home and eat some pre-prepared meal from the fridge and just leave the container and a fork sitting in the sink. And on one such occasion, I came into the kitchen to do my own thing, and God spoke to me and He said, clean that dish for them as you're washing your own dishes. And I had this mental turmoil over this topic. I was like, no, they said they're going to do theirs and I'm going to do mine, and that's it. There's no need for me to be doing that. And I struggled over this one small issue of washing an extra dish. And actually, I love washing dishes. It's a weird thing of mine, but maybe I didn't back then, but I do now. Anyway, it was not so much the point of washing an extra dish that didn't belong to me. It was more, was I going to be obedient to God in that small thing that He asked of me? And also show kindness to the people that I lived with. Kindness is, doing something in the best interest of others and not in your own best interest. So just doing that one small thing when that wasn't expected of me, that was what God was calling me to do, to learn to be kind to other people and just take those small steps. But ultimately was just, am I going to be obedient and fully submit to what He's asking me to do? If I can't fully submit to that small thing, how would I ever be able to be trusted with something bigger to submit to God about? So here are a couple of my own examples of submitting to God. Now, think about it again. Are you fully submitted to God?